And welcome to Paranormal XL Podcast. Gigi here with
Mama Mary.
Yay! Feels like it's been forever, as I say that all the time, but it always does feel like it's been forever.
It does feel like it's been forever.
It's been a while. We've had a lot going on. A lot of awesomeness.
Oh, yeah.
We should have started recording like 2 hours ago, but we totally got sidetracked with our conversation about our huge news.
I know. I'm so excited. I can't take it.
I know.
I feel like I'm going to pee my pants.
Right? It's really, really huge. And when we are able to announce it, we were just discussing we will schedule a live on Facebook so you guys can see how excited we are.
I can't take it.
And what we get to be part of. It's wow. What is even more awesome about it, it's like our birthdays and it just went all together. I'm like, wait, the dates on this is amazing.
It's what you call synchronicity. Everything happens for a reason.
It is. And luckily, our birthdays are super close.
I know. That's why we get along. Except for you're a Taurus and I'm an Aries. But I'm an Aries cusp.
Well,
which means 29 degrees.
Lati freaking da.
I know. That means I could go both ways. I'm not bi.
Nice, yeah.
It's just
nice. But you could be. It's cool. It's
right
cool.
On the edge.
It's
walking the line.
In today's world, you can be whatever the hell you want.
That's right.
It's cool. You could be a unicorn if you wanted to be.
I've tried.
You can identify as a unicorn.
Yeah.
I identify as a badass.
Let's run in the family.
It does. Bad assets. So today okay. So this is how up and down we are today. We did have a different topic picked out, but we're going to hold off on that so we can do a little more research on it after discussing the amount of research that I did not get done with it. That is my fault. But like I said, we got awesome shit going on, and I just been having panic attack after panic attack, but I'm going to start calling, I have funxiety.
There you go.
Instead of anxiety, because it's all the fun that's coming up. It's overwhelming. So I renamed my anxiety to whatever the hell I just said.
Well, we have a lot to look forward to. So
it's absolutely amazing. I was hoping we'd be far, and at our year coming up, we are a lot further clearly than when we started. But the opportunity that's been thrown at us is like, wait, what?
I know it's hard to believe. It's there's trying to wrap your head around it.
Yeah, it's too big, and I hope that most of you will understand why we say that once we're able to announce it. And now everybody's probably mad. They're like, these bitches. But you will understand. That's so cold. So today, to change it up a little, Mama and I are going to talk about what to do when you come across a human demon. I'm just kidding. Essentially. A negative person, negative people in your life, or just a negative situation all in general. How to handle that, because it can become overwhelming. And even if you're not on the spiritual side, coming across an angry person is just inevitable. Somebody that you may not mesh well together with. And sometimes you just say, yeah, whatever, and walk away. But in the back of your mind, it still lingers there as to why that person treats you that way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, nobody wants to have anybody be negative to them.
Right.
And especially when you have a positive outlook. Whether you admit it or not, it hurts your feelings in some sense.
Right.
You know, especially if you're always trying to be nice, the idea that somebody dislikes you that much and you're not even sure why, it's hurtful. Especially while the energy, going around now astrologically, it's bringing up those issues of your past pains, and it kind of throws it back up in your face. And I've learned that grounding yourself through negative energy is kind of the best way to fight it, because sometimes it's really not the person that has an issue with you. It's the issues the person has with themselves.
Right.
And there's something that you trigger that brings up that reflection of themselves, and they're not ready to deal with it. So they take it out on you. You know, it's kind of like a scapegoat. They're deflecting that energy upon you when it really isn't personal towards you. It's just their way of like working it out.
So throat punching them, though, when they treat you bad is not the way to go? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Probably not.
She takes the fun out of everything, folks.
I know. Even if the thought crosses your mind.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes a good thing to keep in mind about people is you don't know what's going on in their everyday lives. And sometimes it doesn't matter what you do. They're never going to get over it.
That is very true. And while having teenage daughters, like both of us, you hear a lot about that. You know, it comes down to the bullying and stuff, but it's so hard to try to explain to a kid. Yeah, our littles really aren't little no more, but trying to explain to them that's never going to go away.
No, you're always going to deal with it in some shape or form.
Yes. And it is older people that have been through stuff, you know, and should know better. But sometimes our inside demons get the better of us. And people they don't realize how they're acting.
Yeah.
You know, they're not looking at the bigger picture of things as to, okay, I did this. They hate me for this, but I did this for a reason that has nothing to do with them. Or, you know, they're not understanding of the other person's situation. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm probably going to talk in circles on this one.
No, that's kind of like it. Everybody's perspective is different. And so it's how you perceive a situation. Mm-hmm. You know, it's sort of like a colorblind person. Somebody might be seeing the color blue, but if you're colorblind to the situation, you're just going to see gray. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like the perception is everything. And your personal life experiences change your perception. How, you know, that's why like text messages can get so misconstrued.
Oh, good Lord,
because you're perceiving something. Because those letters don't really have emotion attached to them. It's the emotion that you are going to attach to it.
That's why you attach an emoji.
Yeah. Or LOL.
Yeah, lol. Yeah, put lol at the end of everything. I do, even in the middle of my words. Lol. Sorry. So, okay, let's say you're just dealing with a real a-hole. How would you handle that, Ma?
Me?
If you weren't in a wrestling ring. How would you handle that?
Typically, I try to just ignore it and be the bigger person. I'm really good at feeling people's energy and getting where they're coming from. So a lot of times, unfortunately for me, I tend to see where they're coming from, or I tend to feel where they're coming from, and I get that. I have that emotional wisdom where I get it, and so then I let it slide, or I give them what they need to feel good about their day. But really, the downfall of that is, while that's something that's nice to do, when you're dealing with people who really quite haven't discovered their whole truths or aren't ready to admit why they do certain things to get their emotional needs filled, it's never going to change because it's not addressed, and It's never going to change because they're not that self-aware to find a solution to that emotional issue they have. So you're still going to do that same cycle over and over again, always bending and flowing with somebody else's energy so they can feel good, and they see that you're bending to make them feel good, and you just do the same thing over and over again because one day you're going to be tired. You're not going to have that energy to give to them to make them feel what they need to feel to have a good day.
Yeah, that's so unfair, and people just don't realize that they do that.
No.
They don't realize that they have that effect on somebody emotionally. And I don't care what anybody says. Being emotionally exhausted, I know in my experience of just being a woman alone, I would rather be physically exhausted.
Yeah.
Because then I could sleep it off.
I was emotionally exhausted like all week. Mm-hmm. Every single day I got up and went back downstairs and went back to sleep. Your dad kept on going, "Are you okay? I'm worried about you." I'm like, "I'm just tired."
It's not even that you're tired, but then you don't feel good to your stomach. Like, it can mess up
everything.
It isn't just your emotions that messes up with. And like, yeah, you got to find a way to deal with that and have that outlet for yourself, especially if you're somebody like Mama or myself with the empath and you're taking that in. Okay, you're not
You're
mad
already-
type of person, but you're taking that energy away from somebody that is,
You're
so
already
they don't
taking a
feel
hit.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're taking a hit, and you got to figure out how to do that, where to throw that at, I guess. And I'm just learning how to do that. And I think my anxiety attacks are becoming more out of control, and I refuse to take medication for it. I just do. They've tried before, but I'm like, no, I'm going to figure it out of myself, because the medication is just makes me feel flat. I feel flat.
Yep.
And I'd rather cry than feel flat. I'm generally a happy person, or try to be. But man, when you come across a negative person and you're taking that
It drains
hit,
you.
you're just like, holy shit.
And I knew already I was going to be tired because, I spent Saturday doing readings all day. So that drains you anyway.
For sure. Yep.
And normally I need a full day of doing absolutely nothing to recover from that, because that's, you're taking a hit there too.
Sure. Yeah.
Because, you do 14 to 20 readings and it sucks you dry. So I knew that. I knew I was going to be tired, but I did take an emotional hit just, doing that cycle. That's just the way, I guess but that's life. It's the way it works.
But when you don't have a choice, like she's not only is, okay, let's talk about Mama for a minute. Not only is she saying that she's tired because of the readings and sharing her energy and taking others' energy, she enjoys doing that. But, when she's not doing that, she, just like the rest of us, has to go out and deal with assholes.
Whether you're in Walmart, I'll never forget a day. Walmart. This was a long time ago. I was very pregnant. But like seeing that kind of unjust from people, just, gosh, it makes me so angry. And I'll never forget, I was going up in line, and I had a couple of things in my hand. I was probably about 8 months pregnant. And this woman shoves me out of her way and cuts in front of me. I'm like,
okay, so where did we leave off at?
I have no idea.
Talk about mean people. We had some technical difficulties there for a second, peeps. That's why it did what it did. Now we can't remember where we were at. People, readings, being tired, people stealing your energy.
Yeah.
Or something on those lines. Don't let them.
Well, no. No, yeah, I think it was, mostly talking about, that perspective and how being able to understand the other people's side and always giving your power away. Not even necessarily giving your power away, but letting things slide because you understand where they're coming from. But at the same time, you deplete yourself.
Right.
And you leave yourself exhausted. And you put yourself on that back burner. There has to become, a point in your life where you kind of stand your ground and say, no, this is how we're going to do it.
You realize what's happening. You accept what's happening and try to change it, because otherwise you don't want to live a life like that.
No.
I did for so long, just being quiet and taking other people's energy, and it was not okay. So at some point, people do know, and they realize if you're around, let's say, a negative person all the time, you work with them. I know I have in the past, and I think that at some point they do realize what they're doing to you.
Yeah, probably.
And
it's a manipulation.
Oh, it is.
Just like family members who, like my ex-mother-in-law, her famous thing would be, you would try to communicate, and she'd start an argument, and then you wouldn't talk for 3 months, and then she'd call back, well, I don't know what I did, but, no, you do know what you did. But nothing ever got nothing got resolved because
right.
You got some people who like the conflict and some people who are never going to admit that they're wrong they don't want to get better.
That's exactly it. But then you also can't spend your life trying to make someone see that either. You got to learn to let it go.
Yeah.
Now I remember it was anxiety we were talking about.
Yeah.
Now it came back.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about how you were going to have a better outlook on your anxiety.
Yeah. I'm just
going to call it something different.
Yeah, funxiety.
That's right.
But a lot of that did look when I was having issues at work. I was essentially being bullied at work. And this sucks as an adult to even admit that. But I'm not the person. Just stand up for yourself. Okay, and then what?
It's not that easy.
And then what? It's not like we're going to get detention together and then we're friends after detention because we're stuck in a room together for an hour.
Some people like the confrontation.
Oh,
some people
thrive on it.
Yeah. There are some people out there who are hoping that you react so that they can
Oh, God, yeah. That's
argue
the
back.
worst. Oh, I'm going to talk about somebody stealing your energy. That's a good way to do it. Yeah, fucking people.
Because we were talking about, our girls. The sad thing is, dealing with the bullies then, it's never going to get any different.
No.
Just learning how to deal with it, because if you don't address it, you just keep on going through the same cycle over and over and over again.
And I'm trying to, rationalize that as an adult. It's like, really? Really? I remember mornings driving to work, I'm like, I should not feel like this. I remember feeling like this on the school bus, not wanting to go to school because I was getting picked on or something. I'm a grown-ass adult.
That's right. It's a job.
Right. I'm like, why am I, you know what? No, we're going to change this around. I took my 3 deep breaths, pushed out my negative, and I was like, nope. And then eventually I showed so much positive. She wrapped around, and now she's positive.
That's right. That's, I think that's the biggest thing is a lot of times we dim our light for other people.
Yeah.
We go just a little bit lighter to make the other person feel comfortable, or maybe just a little bit lighter so that they don't pay attention to you as much. But why the hell should we dim our light to make other people feel comfortable themselves?
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, don't do that.
You will feel liberated after you realize that you don't have to do that. Well, I'm not saying go around being a jerk or anything like that, but stand up for yourself and protect your energy.
Well, after a while, you dim your light so much that it becomes second nature to you, and that's how you really start to feel.
Yeah, and
it's not worth it.
No, and nobody deserves that.
No.
By any means, just know your worth. That's something Mama Mary's always told me whenever I approach her with a problem, which is like once a week, because I'm an overreactor. I'm a drama queen sometimes. And I'm like, oh my God, my boots don't match my outfit. No, I never say that because I wear red sneakers all the time. But she's like, what the hell did I just say you said?
To know your worth.
To know your worth. See, I haven't even been drinking today.
I know, right?
I'm just like...
That's what's wrong with us.
That is the problem. Pieces of me are missing. They're in a bottle. A wine bottle.
Or a box.
Box, yes. Box with a spigot. So, okay, I started wearing my onyx necklace, protection necklace. To me, when I start going around somebody that makes me feel uncomfortable, I know that they're negative. I play with it a lot.
Yeah.
It may just be in my head, whatever, besides the fact that I love it and it's black and it's shiny. And that's essentially why I wear it, because it matches everything I wear. But knowing that stone is supposed to, protect me from that, I don't know. I put my fear when I'm playing into it or my insecurity into it. And I think, that may sound silly, but that's helped me through some bad situations.
No, it's picturing it absorbing that negative energy so it takes it away from you.
Right. So, just
make sure you cleanse it and put it out on the moon.
I gotta do more shit. No, I'm just kidding. So, if you have, let's say, a job, okay, customer service type job.
Oh, yeah.
Get yourself some kind of pennant like I got and do that. Even if it sounds silly to you, nobody's got to, when you're nervous or something, you usually fiddle with something. The reason you're fiddling with something is you're putting that energy into that. I'm just having a really breakthrough. I didn't know I knew this stuff. Or I think I know this stuff. With Ethan, yes, he got his necklace taken away. Uh-huh. He's got that little Thor hammer necklace.
Yeah.
He's always been a fidgeter. They put him on medicine for a while for ADHD. Nothing wrong with that. He didn't like the way it made him feel, so I took him off it, blah, blah, blah. Well, so he always has his necklace, and he plays with it kind of like I do this when he's nervous. Teacher took it from him. And he's like, Mom! I was like, ooh. I was like, you're going to have to ask for it back, buddy. I don't want to. I'm like...
Why'd she take it away?
Because he was playing with it. He was trying to ask her a question, and that's what he did, was this.
What's wrong with her?
Because I've watched him do that with me. If he's asking me for something, like for a friend to stay the night or something, you always get a little nervous asking your parents for stuff, He plays with it. And back in Young Fives, it was he would chew on his sleeve when he got nervous.
Okay, yeah. It's the sensory thing.
Yeah, and he needs that. And that was something that we found for him that worked for him. That wasn't so crazy that he had to carry around a fidget spinner or something silly in his hand or take medicine, or they've even put him in a weighted jacket before because he doesn't bother other kids. They've always said that, but he needs something to play with, whether it's a pencil that he won't even tap it because he doesn't want to irritate people. I'm like, okay, look, you got a kid that could easily get away with irritating people, but he doesn't want to. God, find that. But yeah, so his thing got taken away, and it made me really, really sad because I know I would be upset if somebody took my necklace away because I was doing this and they don't realize what I'm doing because they're not supposed to. But
yeah, Well, he's a kid. Who cares if he's messing around with it? It doesn't make any sense.
Right. It doesn't. It's not like he was swinging it around and actually hitting people with the little Thor hammer. Like, it's to himself. That's how I was like, the necklace, he got to keep the necklace part. It was the pendant. The pendant she took off.
That's just weird.
That's what I thought. But I was like, okay, buddy, you got to be a big boy and ask her. Because he's got to get past that. Because he's 12 now. He's going to have to be a big boy. I don't want him to grow up. But, yeah. So, but again, I said we found what worked for him to help him with his insecurities on things and whatnot. So, like, if you or working in customer service, like I said, where you deal with negative people, that's just how it's going to happen because they're out there. But you notice that it's taking a toll on you. Get yourself some onyx, some obsidian, whatever, put it in a necklace. You know, it may be silly, but it gives you something. Like, I'm playing with my necklace right now. Yeah. But then you're not offending anybody, but, you know, in your mind, you can be like, okay, I'm channeling this negative energy right into the stone. Like, that's how I'm going to make it through my day.
That's a good way to do it. It makes sense.
Good, because as it was coming out of my mouth, I had no idea. I ramble.
No, that's a good way to do it. You know, yeah, it's like customer service, you're always going to deal with negative people. You're always going to get somebody who's unhappy.
You're going to get that Karen that wants to talk to the manager.
Yeah.
Because there was mustard on my hamburger bun. I don't know. I don't even know why I said that, but...
Because it's funny. I took a phone call a couple of weeks ago, and somebody from way out in the boondocks, and they wanted to go across the county line to go to their bank, and I said, well, we can't do that. I said, it's across the county line, and then he's like, do you tell me why the F I even moved out here then? And I'm like, I don't know why you moved. How am I supposed to answer that?
You got a good deal on your house?
I don't know. Mm. And when they hang up, you're thinking, interesting conversation.
See,
all the time.
I would have been more open to this stuff when I worked at the cash store.
Oh, that would be helpful.
Calling people to try to retrieve their debt. That's fun. Because, you know, it was my fault. And I made them go in and get that loan.
Like, yeah, how dare you?
I can go eat shit and I can go to hell. And oh man, when I first was manager, I was helping on another store and I was doing collection calls and this lady went off on me. And I just stood there and the other manager was looking at me and my mouth was hung open. And I was just like, and I hang up the phone. I just lose my shit. I'm crying. She's like, oh my God, what happened? I was like, ooh. And I showed her the name that came up on the screen who I was calling. And she's like, oh yeah, I should have called her, not you. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't deal with. I have a really hard time with dealing with mean people. And I'm going to be 38 years old. And I'm like, I still call my dad, why are people so mean? I just don't get it because can I get angry? Yep. But it passes through me, you know, and I move on to being my happy self. And there's just so many people out there that are just naturally grumpy, angry people 24/7.
Yep. It's always that person who's looking to be unhappy.
Yeah.
And they're going to take the first excuse to.
That just blows my mind because why would you want to live so
miserable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't enjoy anything. You don't enjoy anything. Like, you don't go home, watch a movie with your grumpy ass and enjoy it. You just sit there and
don't drink some wine.
It's something.
It makes everything better.
Become an alcoholic. No, don't. I'm kidding. But find something something that will help relax you. Holy crap. Because you had all that stuff, all those angry people, just pent up. I would not want to be that person. And I ultimately feel sorry for them, but then I get pissed because I start feeling that way too, you know. Mm-hmm. You're taking in their energy or they're giving it to you and you don't freaking want it. You all right?
Yeah, my screen just keeps on going off. It still records, but it bugs me.
I'm going to flip something over.
Where's that table?
This one, I could probably easily flip.
It's kind of, yeah.
We're not going to, though. So, we'll take a drink. What I want to say. So, okay, what we learned today is you just don't go up and throat punch people, and as much as you want to.
Yeah. I don't know, sometimes it could be good to have a sense of humor. It was a couple weeks ago. It makes me think about it. your dad and I had breakfast, and we went to the Walmart, and just getting food for the weekend. It was probably about 2 weeks ago. And so we're walking up. There's only a couple cash registers open. It's early in the morning. We're walking up to the cash register, and this woman, she's coming the other way, and she looks at us. She makes eye contact with me, and she gets a really serious look, and she just starts running with her cart. And she got right in front of me. And I was like, and out of nowhere, I'm like, and she wins.
Like, wow, it's okay, ma'am. You can go there. Wow.
You know, think about it. That could give you an excuse to get pissed off and be negative. But I was like, and she wins. And she turns around. She goes, I'm sorry. She goes, I'm just in a hurry. But well, she took it with a good with a sense of humor, and then started talking to me. And started talking to me, having a conversation. But I don't know where it came from. I was like, and she wins. I'm like, you win. I'm like, I ain't racing her.
Should have yelled at Dad. Like, come on, old man. God, we lost because of you.
Like, I can't take you anywhere.
We're always losing our line at the Walmart.
So, like, yeah, in that situation, she kind of started off negative. But if I would have reacted negative, then that, if you think about that, that would have escalated. So there's like another turn. It's maybe sometimes when you start getting negativity from people, trying to find humor in it, making a joke.
Oh, for sure.
Because then it kind of switches it.
That's definitely a good thing to keep in the back of your mind, especially when there's really no other way out. Like shit.
It's sort of like that reverse psychology with like the bullies when you were growing up, when they try to say, you know, you're ugly, and you're like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Tell me something I don't know. I do own a mirror.
Keep it coming. Yeah.
Well, that's like Mike when he used to get bullied, and all through school. Well, up until middle school, because then at one point he's like, okay, tell me something I don't know. I know that I'm big.
Yep, good for you. You're so smart.
I do know that if you can tell me something I don't know, then maybe we can talk. Like, hello. Mm-hmm. So, and then ever since then, that's when he made all his friends and shit that he's still friends with after all these years, but he had to finally put his foot down.
And stand up for himself. Yeah.
Sophie time. Oh, did you see my bun? It's on the side today. I was like, I think I kind of like that, but it does look silly. But
oh, it's all right.
My arms so are not long enough. Such short arms. I'm like, anyway. So yeah, just stay away from mean people. I'm just kidding. Don't. Just find a way to help with it. Don't lose sleep over it, because so many nights I've done that too. But
yeah, you gotta let it go.
It's not worth it. And I know it's easier said than done. I've been there, you know. And my significant other felt that during that bad time I had through my job, you know. It does get passed on to your family, your kids and stuff, and you don't think that it does because you think you do a good job hiding it. No, they see it.
Nope, they can feel it.
Yeah, yep. You have to let go of others' energies to be able to let yours shine. Am I right with that?
Yeah. Find a way to turn it into a positive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, okay.
So it doesn't dim your light.
Right, with that energy that you're getting there, with that negative energy. Because I tell you, when I get mad, I'm like, I need to do something. And I start cleaning or something, and it actually turns out to something good. Find out what that is and take that anger and do that. Like when Sean and I split up years ago, because now we're married. And I was so angry because it was a really shitty explanation that I got. And I was like, oh, hell no. So I was so angry and sad, I started running. Now, you won't catch me doing that anymore. These old girls kept saying, ain't up for running. But that's what I did. Every time I got upset for anything, I started running. And I could be like in the middle of cooking dinner, and I'm like, shut up, turn this
like
off.
I
just kept running and running. One day I just stopped. Because my hips hurt. But what I'm saying is take that energy and do something with it that makes you feel good. If you're a painter, take that angry energy out and paint your anger away.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to find some place to place that energy that somebody gave you that you didn't want.
I like it.
Like, yeah. Oh, man. What else we got?
I don't know.
Just, people suck. Just always stay positive, because sometimes you can be non-positive.
Everybody has those days.
Yeah.
But I think it comes down to, loving yourself and valuing yourself and knowing your worth. And, you're always going to deal with negative people, but at some point you got to draw the line of what you're going to take and not take, especially if it's a close family member. Find ourselves, you know, keeping our mouths shut to, you know, not have a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But
sometimes you need that fight.
Yeah, in the end, it doesn't do you any good.
Or them, if you're trying to help them too.
Yeah, it just builds up.
Yeah. Then you're just mad at them for other reasons, and it just isn't even worth it.
No.
Just everybody be happy. What is the problem?
Be happy, live in love and light.
Yeah.
Happiness.
Do cool
love
stuff.
Love each other.
Go cool places. Shit, start a podcast.
There you go. A ranting podcast.
Yes. Random rants.
Oh.
Yeah, we talk about starting a work podcast sometimes. Like a break podcast, like throughout breaks or whatever.
That'd be funny.
Uh-huh. Well, I brought my stuff one day, and then I was like, no, because then I'm going to have to go through and edit this shit, and I ain't got time for that.
I don't got time for that shit.
They're like, no, leave it raw material. I was like, oh, God, no.
No.
I do have family that thinks I'm an okay person. Once they heard me talk about what we talk about at work, they probably have me admitted. Holy shit. She was raised all wrong. No, I wasn't. So I really like your new shop.
Thank you.
Around.
It's bright and shiny.
It is bright. I'm like...
It's warm.
It is warm.
The other place wasn't warm.
No.
It's a little bit too hot at times, but I'm not going to complain. Oh. Got all of Jocelyn's paintings up.
I see that.
They look pretty.
It's nice and bright in here.
It is.
Which is that it gives it a good feel. The flooring they put in here is really nice.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
I like that. Really love your cauldron.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to get me one of them.
I know.
When we do our cool stuff.
I know. I'm going to have to. I got my tarot cards all over.
Nice. Think they can turn this into a soundproof room?
Huh. It's worth a shot.
He could. Then he could rent out like another little room like this for a straight up studio. People rent that shit out for a lot of money.
Oh.
If mine wasn't in my basement, I'd open that up for business, but...
Oh, yeah. I've got my 3D butterflies on the
She
walls.
does have her 3D butterflies, but get this, peeps. She's got 3D dragons, too.
Hell yeah, I do.
They are so cute.
And I got a universe wall sticker, and they're flying out.
She got a uterus wall sticker, and they're just flying right out of it.
Open up and say, ah. They're flying out of it.
Some of Dad's sticks.
Yes. He's making more.
I know.
Than buying snake heads.
That's what he told me. He's like, why doesn't Sean just make sticks like me? And I'm like, he's like, it's woodworking. I said, I know. I said, I'll have him come over and talk to you sometime. Because I think it would be great if he did something like that. Because he's one of those people that he needs to have it like instantly done. He doesn't like to take his time. It can't be something that takes a long time. Because he wants to look at what he made like as soon as he has the thought.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those can take as long as you want them to.
That's true.
Like, if you want it to look super detailed, super sweet, it's going to take you a little longer. Mm-hmm. Or if you want to look at something that you made, you do it, and it's done, and you get to look at something you made.
That's right.
It's something easy. But then I'd be mad, because we'd have all these sticks around the house. And Daisy, oh my God, she'd be like...
She'd be trying to carry them around everywhere. Knocking stuff off the walls, trying to carry around a stick.
I couldn't find her one day. She'd have to be underneath them. But you know what? She'd go out the way she'd always wanted to go out, I bet. A bunch of sticks. Yep. Under a bunch of freaking sticks. Yeah, they do a good job. All right. Well, now we are just rambling. So thank you for listening.
It's fun as always.
To this one. Yes. The episode that we had planned for today, I didn't want to just completely wing it. Because I do think that there's some good information there. The little amount of research I did do, it could have easily pulled me down a rabbit hole. Uh-huh. And I wanted to have time to go down that rabbit hole. Yeah. So I hit everything. So we will get to that one. So this one, like I said, basically was pretty much telling you, don't deal with people's shit. Figure out how to get rid of it.
Love yourself.
Yes. Love yourself. That's what I said.
I know.
And get a rock.
That's what she said.
A hard rock. Get yourself a stone, some crystals. If you don't believe, mine's really pretty, I think, around my neck. And that's what I mess with when I'm angry or anxious. And just do that and see if it helps.
Just do it.
Do it. Oh, hey, email us. I'm so not in my game today. paranormalxl@writeme.com. Go check out the Facebook page. We'll put some stuff out there too. Also, our announcement will be coming out very, very soon, and it's like super, super huge.
I still
and
can't
what
wait.
She said, I know. Oh my god.
It is what she said.
I'm like, aha. And then, but we will, before we just blurt everything out, we'll put a thing out there that says when we're gonna go live for it, so you can stay tuned to stay live and
like a notification.
Yeah,
thing.
and we'll make kind of a big deal out of our little live event that we're gonna do for the Facebook.
There'll be wine for sure.
Oh well, yeah. So make sure you have your wine when you watch it, and then you can drink with us. You can toast with us because it's
Maybe
kind of our big
strippers.
wow moment. Oh, I'm like, oh.
No, I wouldn't be able to look. I couldn't even watch Magic Mike with my hand open. Especially the second one. I'm like, oh. My face gets all red.
I'm like, oh. Look at that. We were talking about the Birds and the Bees talk with the kids at dinner yesterday. And of course, Destiny, she knows whatever. So somebody brought up Ethan. I'm like, Ethan, do you know where babies come from? And he's like, Mom, and his face gets all red. And so Sean starts like trying to, I said, honey, he knows. You don't need to discuss it. And Ethan's like, oh my God, can I go to my, like he was mortified. And I said, just tell me yes or no. I said, I know you watch some pretty risque movies sometimes. I can't monitor all the movies that you watch, but I understand. Yes, and Sean's like, well, this happens. And then imagine poor little Ethan's face. And I'm like, okay, conversation over. Like, this is not for dinner. I just needed to know if he did know, because if he didn't know, then we would, I don't know what we would do. I'd probably go and talk to his papa, and his papa can explain it, because I don't know how to tell him, but I needed to know if he knew or not. So he does, and he was mortified. And Sean being Sean, and like, oh, well, he's not saying anything, so he doesn't know, and this is what happens. This is how a baby's made. I was like, oh my God, no.
That's great.
And then Destiny's like, no, Ethan, the stork. First she got on the crow, and I was like, crows don't deliver babies.
She's just going with the crow. That's a big-ass crow.
I know, right? I was like, a stork. She's like, oh. I was like, oh, see, we have to have a whole different talk, Nez. But anyway, so email us at paranormalxl@writeme.com and stay tuned for all the awesomeness coming up. Thank you very much. And remember, don't yuck someone else's yum.
Ever.